Okay, so we've managed to add data. We've got data, we've managed to add data, but what happens if we want to delete a book from our library? Okay, well, first of all, we need something on this front page here, which is going to let us delete it. So what we're going to do is try and put a cross over here. Okay, so when we render each of the books, what we need is to sort that bit out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of code in and juggle it around so it makes sense. First of all, I'm going to create a cross which has a div, okay, and then I'm going to put this cross bit just here, so that goes just after there, and then finally I'm going to append the cross to my list. Okay, so what I've done here is introduce the element of a cross straight after the div. Okay, and then I'm going to add that. This is the text, it's just an X, there we are, and then I've appended that and it should append to the list. So I'm hoping that if I run this, I'm going to get a little cross just somewhere over here if the CSS works well. Yep, bingo, there we are. We've got a nice little red cross here. Now when we click that, not much is going to happen. So what we need to do is we need to add an event. Okay, so what we're going to do is just at the bottom of here, after we put this there, still in our rendering function, okay, still there, right, just a little bit of a deleting data function. So the cross here, this cross element, yeah, that we've created, we've called a div called cross, yeah, we're going to add an event listener to it. So if I click on here, click on this listener will fire this E. First of all, it stops the propagation. You perhaps need to go and read up about this. This stops things propagating all the way up to the top and bubbling up. Okay, but go and have a look at that and see what you make of it. But for the moment, let's just say it needs to be there. And what we do then is say let ID equal this event dot target dot parent element. So the parent element of this cross, the cross is here, and the parent element is the element of the list that we're creating. Okay, and you recall that this list has an attribute data ID. There it is. So I get the data ID. Now that's important because that ID is the unique ID of the book. Okay, so let's have a look and see what happens when we run this. Right, so here we go. I don't want Little Women anymore. I'm going to click on the X. There it is. Click on it and look. I've got this 2WH. Let's just fire into Firebase and have a look. There it is. Can you see that? That's the ID. So what I've done is I've picked up the parent element attribute, data ID, which I assigned to each element in the list, and that's the reason I did it. So I knew which element this was going to be. Click this one, Emma, I get Emma's ID from the database. So I'm now making some good progress. If I've got that ID, instead of alerting it, and it's a good idea to put the alert in first, just to check that you're actually doing the right thing. Okay, all we need now is a little bit of code which goes to the collection and removes it. Okay, now you could leave that alert in and put a little box in saying, are you sure you want to delete this? Which could be a little extension task. But for me, I'm going to do db collection books doc ID, take that ID and just delete it. There it is, no fuss. So let's just see if that's going to work. So we'll head over here, Little Women. Right, that's all been saved, should fire up nicely. Click on there. Okay, that JavaScript just needs to reload, I think. I think what we'll do is just have a quick reload of the JavaScript. Okay, so I've just reloaded. I click on that button there and then head into my Firebase, and sure enough, look, there we are. Jane Eyre remains, Charles Dickens remains, Little Women's gone. It's still here, of course. This isn't real time, so it's not picking it up real time from the database. So I have to refresh and I find that my book's gone. So I can now add a book using this, and I can delete a book using that. Great, we're making some real good progress.